Hey, Kanye, did she put her fingers up your booty? No!
After this, we'll show you my phone. You can see all your friends and rappers DMing me. They're in fucking nudes. So no, I don't have to do any work. So it's when I choose to have fun, they're available. But I don't out people.
Basically, they was, yeah.
They was what?
They was each other.
Let's be conveniently gay. Like,
kind of like homophobic, because it's like I would like go back and like question myself, like, damn, why does everybody else walk like this and I walk like this?
After reportedly sharing their DL tape, Kanye West is furiously attacking Jeffree Star, and that's not even the worst part, you guys. Let's not act foolish, because this sort of validates what we've all been thinking for a minute. Kanye's unpredictable. Or bipolar behavior wasn't the only reason Kim K left him. She portrayed it as though she was defending her children. However, a closer look reveals the true reason why Kanye would have requested a three-way rather than a relationship with another lady. Yes, you believed what I said, but it may only be the beginning. Because the more we delve into this topic, the more bizarre it becomes. So take a seat and let's begin. But first, how did we get here in the first place? This entire story didn't simply happen overnight. It sort of began when Kanye released the song Cousin. He openly confesses to having slept with his cousin in that song. Yes, his real cousin, who is reportedly currently incarcerated. But listen, this isn't just about making fun of people who are under the radar or finding out about their sexual proclivities. It's funny that you're flinging rocks from a glass home, but Kanye has been hiding behind masks for years, disparaging LGBT artists and subtly projecting his own problems. People were asking, what did he just say after listening to the Cousin song? Since it was a confession, honey, it wasn't simply bars. A breadcrumb in the path to the delicious larger story.
yo, it's like, yo, let's be gay for a little while now because it's mad popping. So now let's talk about when I was gay at one time.
But by the end of this week, X was on fire. Okay, if the rumors are true, Jeffree Star jumped on the Bird app and sent. But let's not pretend to be completely new, although he didn't provide names. The internet was aware of them. Every role pointed to a single individual, Kanye West Omari. You guys were unaware that Omari was his middle name. Yes, Jeffree didn't need to reveal the identity because, let's face it, when Jeffree Star speaks in riddles, it's always a mess and people have time to figure it out. However, let's be clear, this isn't the first time this rumor has surfaced. In 2021, influencer Ava Louise, you all know her, randomly revealed that Ye had been spotted acting spooky around the well-known male beauty guru. People immediately began side-eyeing Jeffree Star even though she never said her name. And the reason is that Jeffree was in Wyoming at the same time, which is also the state where Kanye was quietly staying low. I don't think it's a coincidence, though, because people in Hollywood don't just happen to be in Wyoming.
Yeah, of course I'm clout chasing. Like, yeah, I made up the Jeffree Kanye rumor. Like, yeah, I'm like talking to Monty Lopez, like, for clout, so what?
Yeah.
And it's like that intimidates people because I feel like their egos in Hollywood are so big and influencers' egos are so big. They want to just seem like people effortlessly care about them. I'm like, they don't.
Y'all probably forgot, but Jeffree used to make music back in the day. He was out here rapping. Yes, y'all rapping. And in one of his old songs called Be Please, he literally said nibbled off Kanye West. Now I'm one of the bros. That bar is undoubtedly aged well and beginning to hit a little differently now that this new tweet has surfaced, despite the fact that people at the time chalked it up to the shock value. However, Jeffree has consistently been the king of trolling and hinting, if y'all only knew the truth about what they're doing to Britney and Kanye. He added in 2020, let's take a moment to consider what he meant by that and who they are. Kanye has previously been involved in complicated love triangles, but these typically involve women. People assumed that Kim's divorce was only related to his mental health, or perhaps the entire presidential campaign disaster. Despite hearing all of the allegations about Kanye and Jeffree Star, one user stated, I saw a TikTok making a joke about the people that voted Kanye crying about Jeffree being the first lady. I was laughing for 20 minutes and I couldn't breathe. However, given the DLT rumors and Jeffree's tweet, it appears that Kim may have been shielding Ye by not coming out to him and simply leaving with her own dignity. Word on the street is that Kanye is furious behind the scenes because, despite the media's accusations that she abandoned him, it's possible that she was simply sick of covering for him. He allegedly called people, yelled at them on the phone, and discussed lawsuits in an attempt to have Jeffree's tweet removed. You are all aware that you dislike it when others use his name, particularly when it exposes him or makes him appear weak. Kanye, it appears that you expose yourself enough, but here's the joke. Why are you so upset if it's all lies? Normally, innocent people wouldn't freak out like that. I mean, where's the defamation case and the receipts to clear your name? Instead, it's damage control. However, when Jeffree was on Logan Paul's podcast in 2022, the Ye rumors naturally surfaced. What did Jeffree say?
Oh
Anyways.
boy. Yeah.
Uh,
Don't give her one moment.
no.
But yeah, I guess
Absolutely
she
not.
made it up, and I guess it made sense. I live in Wyoming. I live in Hidden Hills. Okay, we both live in the same area. It's the way it was mapped out, I guess.
No. However, immediately after stating that, he goes on to acknowledge that he has had relationships with rappers. Hi everyone. If it's not Kanye, then who is it? Then, Jeffree names the names. Give up playing the games. Jeffree then told Logan Paul that he had receipts as proof after he attempted to explain his little, "I'm not saying it's Kanye, but I've been with rappers" tease. Jeffree responded that he could actually show Logan on his phone and pull up images of the rappers he's been with. Not just selfies, you know, we're talking nudies. It appears that rappers DMing Jeffree Star with brazen, thirsty, and unconcerned messages is nothing new. However, this is where everything begins to revolve around Kanye in particular, since it becomes too precise to ignore. However, there are rumors that one of those rappers is actually himself.
I have videos of rappers Facebook me and all these things on my phone. Yeah. So my OnlyFans account is ready. I'm not into that right now. And I don't think my career needs tape right now.
Before they even met in person, Kanye is believed to have been giving Jeffree Star his own naked photos. This may seem like crazy fanfiction at first, but remember that this man has a history of doing this kind of crazy thing. Recall the recent incident in which his own assistant accused him of sending her obscene pictures and stating a variety of outrageous and improper things in her texts. This is not conjecture. That comes directly from court documents, such as legal files and receipts, you know. Given that Jeffree is out here discussing how rappers have been on his phone, giving him stuff, and attempting to hook up behind the scenes, is it really that difficult to think that he might have done the same thing with Jeffree? That eerie pattern is presented, and DL conduct is revealed. And to be honest, Jeffree for leverage, Star may have retained one of Ye's videos. However, let's discuss this three-way that Kanye supposedly requested. According to insiders, during one of their last therapy sessions, Kanye made a suggestion that they would like to look into non-traditional arrangements. It seems that he suggested a threesome, but not with a different woman. Kim allegedly said, "All right, y'all, I'm done unless you're going to do it."
I thought, oh my God, that's when we're getting along the best. But then that is sad to me. And that's not what I want.
At that point, I'm talking about a resurfaced clip of old footage with deep cut vibes where Kim literally catches Kanye with someone in the back room. The way they edit it is really sneaky, but it's really clean. This revelation could have destroyed everything. And Kim, well, she wasn't trying to raise her kids in the midst of a PR storm, as if they were attempting to hide it well. But the internet, oh, she never forgets.
Kanye good? Last night I was just like not in like the best mood. I was just like tired. I got home and I was like, hey, and then I was like on my computer and then he was like, hey, babe, will you get off your computer? Like, I want to.
Thus, if you blinked, you most likely missed it. However, many are claiming that if you watch this specific episode with new eyes, knowing what we now know, it subtly appears as though Kim was interrupting Kanye with someone and shutting it down right away. Production cuts the camera, and the atmosphere quickly becomes tense. You can see someone leaving the room in the scenario, but it's not very clear. Just an arm and some movement. But it wasn't giving Thorne Bella the assistant wasn't chosen at random. It was giving something very different to someone else. Additionally, individuals have been going off in the comments part of these resurrected clips. A user stated Kim caught them on the show and it was hidden. You guys can seriously find the footage if you know what you're looking for. Since the arms were tattoo-free, someone else weighed up and swore up and down that it wasn't Jeffree. However, at that point, it's not even about Jeffree. What if this wasn't a one-time incident? What if Cameron had discovered Kanye seeing other people? That would have explained why she initially moved so discreetly, then quickly filed for divorce. However, this is when things get really messy, everyone. We're not here to shame anyone on the DL or anyone in the LGBTQ+ family. because some commenters are attempting to claim that it was Bella Thorne, while others are asserting that Bella is transgender, which we don't have any proof of. This is further supporting his story that Kanye was allegedly hooking up with trans women who represented men while she was still married to Kim. This is just my opinion, but Kanye has always had a strange obsession with power, dominance, and control, regardless of who he is. From his fashion to his rants to his strange slavey was a choice comments. Everything he says is about control. Therefore, the idea that he might be exploring his fluidity that contradicts everything he's tried to project is problematic. You love who you love. But if you're lying to your partner, hiding entire parts of your identity, and sneaking around, that's a problem. And for that reason, it appears like he is attempting to conceal it. He lashes out because of this. He's upset that someone finally stated the silent portion aloud. Not that Jeffree lied. All right, let's switch the camera for a moment. Given that the beauty YouTube market is already somewhat saturated or dead, not to mention that Jeffree thrives on chaos, is it conceivable that Jeffree is the foundation of his entire brand? Additionally, if you follow the chronology, a business launch occurs immediately after every messy thing Jeffree releases. However, certain things still don't fit up. For example, if Jeffree and Kanye were still skulking around, how did they even connect without the paparazzi noticing? They're both major celebrities who are always surrounded by fans, photographers, and team workers. I'm not sure if this all occurred during Ye's time as a hermit in Wyoming or during the Jesus is King phase, but if there's one thing I've learned from Hollywood scandals, it's that where there's smoke, there's undoubtedly fire. This scandal isn't going away, so don't be surprised if Kanye's team tries to clear the air next week. They'll likely release a new song, a fashion line, or a mysterious video in which he simply stares into the camera for 3 minutes in silence. Not this time. Whether you believe the allegations or not, the fact that Jeffree even made a mention about it says a lot. Kanye's silence always speaks louder since he's never quiet, but Kim is currently in a quiet place, most likely enjoying some matcha and calabasas while realizing that the world had finally discovered what she had known all along. However, what do you guys think? Is Jeffree being honest? Is Kanye secretly living a life of luxury? Or is this simply another Hollywood ploy? Please share your comments with me below. I'm just getting started, and things will only get worse with Ye from here, so please like, comment, and remember to hit the subscribe button.